Tomato, I'm glad you're doing better, my dude. What do you mean, what now? This is it. Get used to it. Old age. Let's not talk to Hypnos just yet.
Got back shortly before you did.
Fine work from the house contractor.
Yeah, I legit think there needs to be...
Dinner, maybe?
I legit think there needs to be, at least in America, I think globally as well, but especially in America, I legit think we need a movement of, like, helping... There needs to be, like, a big discussion about helping young men find their place in the world. And, like, how to appropriately go about that. Because, man, they're struggling, dude. It makes me so sad.
Whoa, you must have really gotten pretty far out there if you could get me one of these, so wow. And thanks for stopping by.
You lighten up my numerous untimely deaths, Hypnos.
I just hate to see kids suffering, dude. It's just so unnecessary.
I've got a survey here if you'd like to fill it out.
A survey?
No.
I mean, I at least would love to see what it's about.
Hey, listen a moment, lad. I require your discretion with regards to whom we spoke about last time. The Shade you met with in Elysium.
I understand. What can I do about this, sir? There must be something. But you have to let me know what's going on.
Simply put, he is the reason that I'm here. Patroclus lost his life before I did, because of me. I shortly followed, in a rage. When I arrived here, I received a hero's welcome. Your father himself ushered me to Elysium. But that's not what I wanted.
You wanted to see Patroclus, but he's in Elysium or you... Oh no.
I signed a pact, lad. Felt the terms were good enough. He could live there, while I'd live here, at least for now. Such deals are most uncommon, and their confidentiality must be upheld.
Oh.
But let's speak no more of this for now, all right? Some other time.
Whoa! So is he saying that...
All right.
So is that saying that Patroclus would not have gone to Elysium? He would have gone to, like, a worse place? But Achilles struck a deal to put him in Elysium instead? If so, that is that's a bummer, dude.
All three of Cerberus the Watchdog's terrifying countenances greet the prince.
Take care, okay?
I was gonna say, I was honestly kind of surprised Patroclus was even in Elysium, because Patroclus never really struck me, based on the stories I'm aware of with him, never really struck me as, like, super badass epic hero dude.
Not everybody knows exactly how to give you pets and live to tell of it, right, boy?
Kiro, you just kind of got dealt a bad hand, didn't you?
Approved.
We got the honor bar.
All the solitary shades hanging around forever in the lounge.
Now I suppose no work shall ever be complete.
Well, Kiro, at the very least, for what it's worth, I'm super glad we have you around here with us. I want to save up for the revolting prism spear.
Father, let me ask you something work-related here. I know the Shade called Sisyphus once wronged both you and Thanatos, and has since paid a heavy price. But don't the Fury Sisters now have better things to do than torture him?
You come to me to question how I allocate my resources. Preposterous. I care nothing for that wretched Shade. That he is tortured for eternity is but a technicality resulting from his arrogance. The terms of his incarceration are long lost.
Lost for now.
So then if I could somehow find those terms, then theoretically I could grant him a pardon.
If you could somehow do your job and enact miracles, then yes. You could do anything then, I suppose. Including waste your time on those of his undeserving ilk.
That's good to know. How has it been for you of late, Nix? Having Mother here again for old time's sake?
Though reminiscent of an older time, it is now very different, child. For one thing, you are present now. unlike before.
Oh, right. So are you getting on okay? Is everything all right?
Everything is all right. Your birth mother, Persephone, her presence has been welcome here, I think.
Don't help Sisyphus! How dare you? Sisyphus!
I think so too.
Sisyphus is best boy! You take that back! You take it back!
Should check the garden.
Hi.
Hey, Dusa.
I think I finally know a little more about how you must feel, Dusa. Working for Father, I mean. I was so intent on running away from here, but here I am.
Look, Prince, your father's always been a pretty scary god. And this is something between you and him. Though, if you can forgive him, I guess it means you'd stay. And I would like that, so that's where I stand. I know it's really complicated, though.
Yeah. Thanks, though.
Well done, Zagreus.
Madre!
Thank you very much, my son. You know, gift-giving customs of the underworld are just so much more straightforward than the complicated social graces of Olympus.
If there are other ways of showing one's appreciation than with nectar and the like, well, they must pale in comparison, I'm sure.
Dusa floats. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Garden isn't quite the sight yours was back on the surface, is it, Mother?
On the contrary, Zagreus. It has its own unique charm, as each garden does. I was impressed it wasn't left entirely to rot after my absence.
It was totally off limits to me, though I guess Father must have taken care to maintain it as best he could.
He did, all right. Minus the part where you weren't allowed. Though, let's look after it from here, shall we?
Sounds good.
Y'all want to hear a funny story? Like, I rarely tell this story, just because it doesn't come up very much. But would y'all would y'all like to hear about the time that when I was very young?
Prophecy has been fulfilled.
Ooh, close at heart. Yo. Would y'all like to hear about the time that I got banned from a website that was like my happy place when I was younger? Because I was just being a little shit. Defeat Karen in 2 successive battles. Think I can manage that. So, Club Penguin? No, it was not Club Penguin. When I was...
Thank you for waiting.
They really spruced this place up, haven't they? Cause of death, wild boars. Yikes.
Shades, please form a line.
That would not be a good way to go, gotta say. So when I was younger, the I was part of a website that if y'all are older, or median age, I suppose.
It is I, fishies.
If y'all are of median age, I should say, you might know of this website. But there was a website back in the elder days of the internet. This was almost 20 years ago. Not quite. Maybe like 15 years ago. That the website was called ZeldaUniverse.net. Okay, super popular.
Trying to bore me to death without.
Famous website. And there was a significant portion of the website
Hidden power.
Well, what was that?
was dedicated to like role playing, like writing stories. Not like weird role playing, but like you'd get on there and you would like hang out with people and write stories, or whatever. And I will never forget that there was a lot of different places on the website. It was a huge forum, like massive. And so I remember that I was young and very feisty. You know, like most people on the internet are when they're young. Very feisty. And I had a really hard time controlling my emotions during that age.
All of this realm are born of darkness, boy. It's part of everything you'll ever see. The mortals on the surface, they all fear it, foolish as they are, unable to even see its power.
We don't get Hades moments too much. So,
Fear is for the weak.
another thing that's worth noting
The goddess Demeter.
about Young Me is that I also had, I'll just flat out say I'm not a, I guess you could say I'm a spiritual person, but I'm not a religious person. Like, I don't follow an organized religion. Not into that.
The frostbitten horn which you bear once overflowed. It holds a certain power still, of course. But never again shall mortal kind take it for granted.
But when I was younger, I had essentially been raised Christian, and I was very Christian,
Cool.
but like the blind sort, like the kind where you don't really think about it, you don't do any reflection, you don't study or anything. It's just what you were. Like, you went to Bible school, and you were convinced you were right, and everyone else was dumb and wrong if they disagreed with it, and yada 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 at the end. And so, I wandered onto the political side of the ZeldaUniverse.net forums. And there was a argument there about religion. And being, I don't know, 13 years old, 12 years old, somewhere in that ballpark, I'll never forget, I got super salty because there was a guy on there who was just like shit-talking organized religion. Just talking about how horrible it was and all this stuff. And, I started getting into an argument with him. Not having any evidence or anything, I was just mad. Because, you know, I, identified with that group, and I didn't like that he was talking bad about the group that I guess considered myself a part of. And I'll never forget that I got so stupidly angry over something that just not a big deal. You know, everyone has their own opinions and whatever. It's not a huge deal. Life goes on. And I literally said something along the lines of, what did I say to him? I said something along the lines of...
Old Hades has continued to ignore my every effort to reach out to him, young man. Oh well, but he is obstinate indeed. You are wise to seek your family's better half.
I said something along the lines of, like...
I'd like to see
when I got, like, super angry at the end. I hoped that... It was something like, I hoped that he would, get, like, struck by lightning and, like, killed or something. Like, something, like, over the top, but also just stupid and childish. And I got banned! Because I was, like, you know, I was essentially threatening someone, even if it wasn't a childish way. And, oh, man. Those horrible moments in life when you do stupid things and realize that your actions have consequences. Not a good feel.
I recommend maintaining sub-infinite distances with them in space and time. Even if they are most tiresome, there always seems to come a point when one wishes to be in their presence once again.
Oh yeah, ZU still exists, but it's very, very different to what it was back then. But yeah, that was the first and only time I got banned on the internet. And it made me super upset for like a good while. Because that's where a lot of my friends were. Like all of my online friends, and even some of my real world friends, like hung out on that website. And because I got banned, like I just didn't get to interact with them nearly as much as I used to. That actually, it didn't result in the end of a friendship in like an argument sense, but it resulted basically in the end of a friendship because I just never got to like talk to them again. Or talk to them very much anymore. Which is kind of a bummer now that I think about it. But such is life.
Just right.
It's weird sometimes looking back and thinking about how angry I used to get when I was little. Either at like video games or people or all this stuff. It's like, damn. I don't know how I like did anything or got anything done. So emotional. Like, I'm still a really emotional person, but, like, I don't get angry, though. Like, I just choose not to be angry. Like, I'd rather feel different things. But, like, I am super emotional when it comes to, like, movies and video games. Like, it's so easy for me to listen to a piece of music and start, like, basically crying.
Should be something useful.
Or, like, I can get very, very easily wound up by, like, something that most people are like, oh, this is stupid or childish or whatever. But I don't know. Which I'm glad about. Like, I'm happy that I have a good, I don't know, I guess connection with that side of me. I totally forgot I had crystal beams until just now.
Who's laughing now?
What's my favorite Zelda game?
Assistance from me, Zagreus. I always shall prioritize the needs of our family above everything else.
I would probably say... probably Breath of the Wild. Alright, Killeron, thanks for being here, my dude. Always good to see you. I would probably say Breath of the Wild is currently my favorite, even though the story was a little weaker than I would have liked. When I before Breath of the, but Breath of the Wild was like stupid amazing. I feel like before Breath of the Wild, though, my favorite was easily, from a story perspective, my favorite was Twilight Princess. Because, I still believe this, Twilight Princess had the best final boss fight of any Zelda game. Like, the final fight with Ganondorf, where there's like 4 phases, that fight was insane! And I love it. And, like, the way that it ends with Ganondorf actually dying, like, not getting sealed away, not getting defeated yet again, but no, like, he literally dies, and it's super... It's not, like, triumphant, it's haunting how he dies. And I love that battle. I love that battle. It's so well done. I think gameplay-wise, before the... I mean, Ocarina... you know what? I would actually say Majora's Mask was probably my favorite before Breath of the Wild. I love Majora's Mask. Majora's... like, if I was told that I could only take, like, a single video game with me, that, like, I would be able to play over and over and over and over, but, you know, it had to be like an RPG, I'd probably take Majora's Mask. I had an absolute ball with that game. Good times. I loved when they re-released it for the 3DS. That made me so happy. That was a hell of a nostalgia trip.
Surprise.
Dude, I am so excited for the Legend of Zelda game coming out in like 2 weeks. The Hyrule Warriors, but for Breath of the Wild, the prequel to Breath of the Wild. Very excited. Like, I am absolutely getting and playing that game. Age of Calamity, yeah, Age of Calamity.
Do not so much as think about it.
I am so curious about the story of that game. Because Breath of the Wild was awesome, but man, it left a lot of unanswered questions because you come in after a lot of the story has happened. And I'm just like, oh boy. Spoiler, they all die. What?
Cheers, Father.
Like, that's what I'm really hoping, though. Like, I hope we get to see how everybody died. Like, how everything goes down. Like, that would be... Ooh, I don't know if my emotions can handle that. Like, in a good way. Like, I could absolutely handle it, but man... Oh, that would get me right in the feels, seeing them all go down. I hope they do it. I hope they absolutely destroy me emotionally. The catharsis of being, like, emotionally annihilated is just so tasty.
I'll just take that. A fishing point.
Like, if we got to see, like, the King of Hyrule go down... Like, if you get to see the King of Hyrule die, you get to see Link, being, you know, spirited away to be sealed up.
Looks like a knucklehead.
Getting to see all 4 of the champions die. Like, that would be nuts. Ooh. It's asking me to choose between Sisyphus and a double god. I think I'm going to go with double god. We're doing pretty good with Sisyphus, but I think he'll be alright without us for a bit. Nothing better than a bowl of honey nut Felios.
The gods want me to choose.
Ah, that's a bummer, Kiro. Hopefully one day you'll get a chance to try it.
Ah, yes, indeed.
I find it's a very, very enjoyable setting. Let's reroll.
What else is there?
I regret rerolling. Frozen touch, I guess.
Are you testing the limits of my patience with you, Zagreus? Then I shall test your limits in turn.
Oh, awesome, Kiro. You absolutely should.
So that's the way it is then.
But, like, dude, Breath of the Wild 2, I cannot wait for that game. I don't know what I'm going to do when that game comes out, because I feel like my life is just going to fall apart, because that's all I'm going to do is play that game. I will say, though, I'm going to be unironically very upset if they don't finally... If Link and Zelda don't hook up by the end of that game, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be pissed. They better have those two finally, like, get together. I want to see it in my game. I want it in my game. Damn it. I need it. I need it!
We've better things to do, I think, than fight amongst ourselves over a matter such as this.
Lore Master of Zelda? Well, no. No. Not quite that knowledgeable about that series. I am very knowledgeable about the Zelda series, but not that knowledgeable about it. I know more than I think the average person... Well, no, I think I know more than the average person who played a lot of the games. But I don't know everything, just a lot of it. Dude, man, I would be all over a Wind Waker rematch for Switch. Like, I know they did the HD Wind Waker remaster, but that was for the Wii U? Which, like, ugh. Wow, he has so much health. Holy crap, dude.
All right, I've seen enough.
How's that?
Yeah, I've played through Skyward Sword. I wish Nintendo treated their other franchises as well as Zelda. I mean, they treat Mario pretty well.
Pleasure doing business.
Damn it.
Oh, that's brisk.
Curse you, Demeter! Give me your legendary already. Greater haste or hyper sprint? Oh, I can take either.
Hit the spot.
You just got the hidden gun aspect? Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Murder? Murder.
Hello. Oh, dude, the Pokemon franchise. I loved the Pokemon games, but I can't stand them anymore. Like they keep just not improving the series. Like I loved Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Loved them. I thought those were masterpieces. And then like pretty much everything that's come after that has been just like so low effort. It's just like, oh, come on, man. I guess we'll just stick with Demeter for now. Actually, yeah, that's fine.
I see you, Tartarus.
Just drives me crazy. Sword and Shield was butts, dude. I hated Sword and Shield. Like, I couldn't even get through Sun and Moon. Like, I liked the aesthetic of Sun and Moon, and I liked that, like, a lot of the challenges were genuinely difficult, but the amount of hand-holding in that game, it was like, please, God, stop. Like, every 5 seconds I would take a step, and it just dialogue, just constantly. And it's like, just stop it. Let me play the game.
More bone rakers.
Like I understand that Nintendo thinks that most of their target audience is young children, but I disagree. I think a significant amount of their audience is people my age, like people in their late 20s who grew up with the games. I think while there are children who enjoy Pokemon, I think a surprising amount of the community are like adults now. Because for me, like, the whole big thing with that is that a lot of kids now play different kinds of games. You know, a lot of kids play games like Fortnite and stuff. You know, the world's changing. Nintendo needs to understand that they can't just do the same formula until the sun blows up. Well, you know what? Never mind. I guess they can. I mean, no one can deny that they made, like, awesome profits. So I guess they can do it, but it bums me out.
Lady Demeter.
Curse you, Demeter! Give me your damn ulti.
That woke me up.
Quit making me beg. You old hag. Yeah, I know.
Might as well.
Japan has such awe-inspiring creativity, but so, like, their refusal to change, like, adapt sometimes is just shocking. Like, it's crazy how those things can all come from the same place. Which, you know, I've heard a lot of hypothesis that the reason Japan comes up with a lot of the craziness they do is because so much of their stuff was repressed for so long that it ended up causing this, like, bizarre, not counterculture, but, like, reaction, you know, where everything kind of, like, bounced back really hard.
Course is set.
Which, I don't know about that, but, I just, God, I wish they would get their heads out of their butts.
Not a chance. I'm out. Pure darkness.
Oh yeah, dude. Japan's porn industry is one of the most amazing things to read about. They have such a confusing situation. Have I watched